Hello everyone, and this is my review for Monday Night Raw on June 29, 2015. And, actually, it's kind of weird to say how I felt about Monday Night Raw, because there was honestly a couple really good things on the show, and a couple things I really didn't like. I'll go on the aspect of what I didn't personally like. I know there's been some reports. This review's coming out a couple days later than I typically do it. There had been, other reviewers saying they really liked the segment. I personally disliked the segment. It was a segment with Rusev, Summer Rae, and Dolph Ziggler and Lana. It just did not feel right on the Rusev character to be kind of like in this budding love triangle, or this little budding love fest that they were going with in here. I mean, the aspect with Lana and Dolph wasn't too bad, and then the aspect of them Lana actually getting physical with someone afterwards wasn't bad or anything. But this whole angle between the two of them, especially with the Rusev character and how it's supposed to be, just doesn't fit that character. And in the end, I ended up not enjoying it that much. I did not feel like that segment came off all that good. I've read many other reports where people have said it was a great segment on the show. I personally didn't like it. I didn't find it that entertaining. It didn't really fit to the Rusev character all that much, though they were kind of trying to make him into like a... was the way almost not, I wouldn't say sympathetic, but almost like completely like not as a weakling, but like completely different from what he was when he originally came in there. And I mean, we'll see where they go with this and whatnot, but personally I'm not caring for that all that much. The other segment that I felt was actually relatively good, but it went way too long, was that opening segment with Seth Rollins. I get where they were going with the whole Seth Rollins sucking up to his buddies in the Authority, trying to get them, to fully reassure them back together again, and like giving Kane a vacation trip to Hawaii, and then the Mercedes-Benz to J&J Security. The way that they portrayed that, and I'm actually glad in the end of the night that they went a complete different route in there, was, you show the car, and man, was it asking to be destroyed in any way, shape, or form. And I'm actually glad that they didn't go that route. Matter of fact, they went with a route that I felt they needed to go at the end of the night, with the Authority, going over and actually being on ahead again for this week, before they kind of have like maybe a slip up or a downfall at a different point in time. So it was good to see that they went the route that they did, and also interjecting Bray Wyatt in there to continue on the storyline with Roman Reigns into that no disqualification tag team match with Kane and Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns. I thought was a good idea as well in there. So those were kind of examples of something that I kind of liked in the end. And the segment with Seth Rollins, Kane, and J&J Security, yeah, it dragged on way too long in my personal opinion. It definitely had some okay moments in there, and it had a couple really good moments in there as well. A couple funny one-liners in there and whatnot. The Kane one-liner with how he felt about going to Hawaii and everything was actually kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie there. It was actually kind of funny. But for the most part, like I said, that segment did roll on maybe a little bit too long, but in the end came out relatively good. You also had continuations of storylines. You had a couple continuations of storylines in there. Them doing more interaction with Big Show, Miz, and Ryback. I like how they are trying to depict Miz as a stick and dodge type character, where he's gonna only stick his neck out in there when he feels like he has the best chance of gaining the advantage, and we'll definitely see how they play along with that down the road. The match with Mark Henry and Big Show was okay. The match with Ryback and Miz was relatively good, and actually really continued to depict how they're going to go with the Miz character in there by him running out at the end. I felt that was a relatively good way of going about everything. You also had semi-continuation of the Paige storyline with the Bellas, her going up against Alicia Fox, and they actually put on a relatively good match. I'm not going to lie there, that was at least a decent match out of the Divas there, and it came off pretty well there on that aspect, and also them continuing on the whole, Paige, even though she's by herself, is still trying to continue the fight against the Bellas thing is. It's going where it needs to go, though it's going to be kind of hard for them to do it each week because Paige is kind of doing the tough enough thing, so they have to mix and match when they're going to be doing that, and if they're going to fully be continuing on with it here in the future. So we'll see where they go with that one as well. The Primetime Players, the New Day, having the 8-man tag team match. Not a bad tag team, 8-man tag team match. Not gonna lie there. You didn't really get much in the terms of story progression. It was just kind of Primetime Players going over the New Day again. They've kind of been rolling with this for a little bit like that. I feel like, maybe to progress the storyline and make it feel like the New Day is going to potentially get the tag titles back at Battleground. And they still got a couple weeks, don't get it wrong, so they can kind of write that in there at some point. They need the New Day to go over them at some point in time. But all in all, relatively good 8-man tag team match with Primetime Players, Lucha Dragons in there. Kalisto's showing off some really good stuff inside the ring. They don't have a full storyline for those guys yet, but you're at least getting to see something from them going in there. And then, of course, New Day, continuing on with their stuff with Primetime Players, and Bo Dallas was in there as well, and they kind of had Bo Dallas in there to show off the aspect that Rock showed up out of nowhere on a live show from over the weekend. So not a bad way of trying to stick that out there, and maybe stick have Bo Dallas maybe have something down the road. I don't know where they're going to actually go with him either. And you also had a couple matches in there that one was really good, one was kind of blah and really didn't mean anything in the end, but both of them really didn't mean much in the end. You had Sheamus go up against Neville, and that was a really good match. I found that match thoroughly enjoyable. They were kind of going back to the whole gimmick that they were going with Sheamus when he initially came back, was like, I'm going to go after these all these underdogs and everything, and really they kind of stopped doing that matter of weeks back for him coming in, and I don't know why they're kind of going back there now with it. So we'll see where they're going with that. If they're going to continue having Neville go up against Sheamus, or if they're going to kind of go with this whole Sheamus is going after the underdogs thing. And then the other match was King Barrett versus Jack Swagger, and honestly, in the end, meant really nothing. You have no feud for King Barrett or Jack Swagger at this point. It was kind of just a match. What was it that I put out there a while ago? An enhancement match of some kind. Maybe they're trying to enhance King Barrett down the road for a potential storyline, so we'll go with that. I mean, all in all, the match wasn't all that great. It was relatively short, and it didn't really mean anything in the end. So we'll see if they do something with King Barrett down the road, but outside of the R-Truth thing. So we'll see where they go with that as well. So overall, Raw this week actually was relatively enjoyable, outside of a couple segments in there. But overall, a rather enjoyable show. Like I said, the Rollins K&JJ Security was a relatively good segment, though I felt it ran too long. The Divas match was actually pretty good. Same with the 8-man tag match. It was actually good, but it didn't really progress much of anything in the terms of story. But in the end, I felt this Raw was actually a rather enjoyable show. Outside of my personal opinion, I didn't like the Dolph Ziggler, Lana, and Summer Rae Rusev segment all that much. And, where are they going with King Barrett at this point in time? And even where are they going with Neville and Sheamus at this point in time as well? So we'll see where they're going on with those aspects. And that is my review this week for Monday Night Raw. And I thank you guys for watching.